Hi guys, welcome back to My Gear, and on this episode we're going to talk about compression bandages by Equicrown. So Equicrown, actually, I don't know another company that makes these as well as Equicrown. So basically what they are compression socks. Now compression socks can be used for a number of different things. The three main things are for riding, for resting, and for recovery. But you can also use them in place of bandages, so of standing bandages in the box. So I'm going to show you a little bit the different types that we have and a little bit how they work. So we have two main types. We have ones that use a hook and eye closure, which are more for the standing bandages. We don't use these to exercise. And then we have ones with a zipper and Velcro. And the zipper helps keep the structure so that they stay in place when you're riding. So compression has been used with humans for many, many years, and it's a newer thing to the horses. But of course, the main thing with compression is actually to restrict blood flow in order to increase blood flow. So with this, when we ride the horses, it's great that you can use it to help with the compression so that you don't let too much blood flow go into their legs as you're exercising, and then you can even leave them on for a couple hours afterwards to help, and then as soon as you take them off, then the blood flow runs into the area and can actually help with repair. So you can see as I put them on, they're quite tight. And they're designed perfectly to fit around the bulb of the fetlock. One of the best things about these is that instead of, we use them a little bit in place of a polo bandage because they create such nice even pressure, whereas a lot of times a polo bandage, if you're not experienced with bandaging horses, it's easy to sort of create bowed tendons and actually put pressure points in the wrong place, whereas this is a nice, steady, even contact. And a lot of times, especially in my husband's stable, we have a lot of different people come in and out, and this is a great way, particularly with the ones that we use for standing bandages. It's a great way to ensure that you never have a problem with how you put the bandages on. So basically they're kind of foolproof and everyone can use them. So once we have it zipped, we Velcro, perfect. We keep the zipper on this sort of 3/4 line. You can see it goes right here around the bulb of the fetlock. Nice compression. It's quite tight, but not too tight, and then it's all set and ready, and then you can exercise just like that. You can put a boot over it, or you could do it without a boot, however you want. Again, it's for compression, not so much for protection. So we tend to put a boot over it. But yeah, I find they really, really help, especially with horses that maybe have a pre-existing condition. So if we go back to the main things with rehab, it's a great way to protect the leg if they've had a previous injury. And then it was a nice, consistent pressure with the compression. So we talked a little bit about riding and recovery with injuries, but when it comes to rest, we can also use them as like standing bandages, so in place of standing bandages. And a lot of times, what I find is a lot of my jumpers are quite sensitive on their hind legs and they don't like standing bandages, but I have found that if we use this instead, you can get the same compression effect without them being annoyed. So on the hind legs, we use the ones with the hook and eye. It's a little bit softer, and this is primarily for resting within the box versus actual exercise, and these are super easy to put on. Nice and simple with the hook and eye closures. They're nice, soft material where the zipper is quite stiff and holds them up when you're exercising. This is quite soft. They can move around in their box comfortably. They don't move around. Perfect. Again, you keep this here on the 3/4 line of the leg, nice around the bulb of the fetlock, good compression, smooth, very clean lines. I think the horses find them very comfortable. So one of the things I really love about the Equicrown product is that they are a very breathable material, whereas there's this big debate as to whether you use traditional polos or rundowns when you're exercising, that the legs can get too hot and it heats up the tendons and ligaments too much, that it makes them more prone to injury. And I find with these, not only do you have that consistent compression and pressure everywhere, but they're actually really breathable and the legs don't get super, super hot, especially also with the standing bandages. When we use them as standing bandages, they can stand in their stable without the legs sort of sweating and being uncomfortable. I think that's maybe one of the reasons why they stand more easily with them on the hind legs versus when you put traditional bandages on. So I've had really good results with compression bandages. Hi. In general, and I love that they have so many different applications for riding, for rest, for recovery. So for me, I find them a really vital part of my program. And yeah, I love the Equicrown products because not only do they come sort of in different, you can measure them to order, you can buy them in general sizes, they work for a lot of different horses. Hi. I find actually that they are a really great part of my program and they've become vital to my success.